Hey guys, this is Morphs Props here. Today I'm going to do a quick review of Ragnarok. This is from the anime Soul Eater. This is actually Corona's sword from that anime. Again, great anime, would definitely recommend it. Check it out if you want. Sorry I don't do a time-lapse video build of this sword. This is a quick speed build for me, so I kind of forgot to throw everything together and I just put it together and had to get it out. So I apologize for that, but I will do this quick review so in case you want to make your own Ragnarok. Basically, started off with a popular board that I planed down. This blade is actually 7/16 thick. Again, just planed it down, cut to shape, pretty standard. It's not that hard. The overall blade length from the tip to this point, I actually made it 35.5 inches. Again, you can adjust the length to fit your needs. Moving on down to the sword, this piece here, this is actually just a block of MDF, fairly thick MDF. I think I glued two pieces together and I just cut the corners and did a little sanding to round that off. Pretty simple shape, not too difficult. Just a simple dowel rod. Again, this little piece here, that's another piece of MDF, cut to shape, sanded, and rounded the corners. The spikes that you see all around, that's actually a 2-inch spike. Chucked it up in my lathe, lathed out a spike. Now, since all these spikes are identical, I just made a quick dirty mold. You can take 100% silicone and some cornstarch, mix those two together, put whatever you're trying to make a copy of into that silicone, and it dries pretty quick and you get a quick dirty mold. Wouldn't recommend it for everything, but for this it actually worked out pretty well. And then you just make copies of your spikes instead of having to lathe each and every one. This gray banding, I actually took Wonderflex. Basically it's a heat sensitive plastic. You heat it up and you can actually bend it into shape. And then once it cools, it hardens, and that's pretty much all it is. So I took it and I cut out a strip, started there, and I just wrapped it all the way around the sword and did the same thing and just wrapped it around. These little rivet points, these are actually kind of neat because I took an actual pop rivet, took the rivet part off, this little piece, it just pops off of there. You might have to cut it down to length a little bit. You might have to trim it to fit, but just cut it down, drill your holes, drop them in, instant rivet points. Kind of a neat little trick. That's pretty much all there is to this sword. Oh, this sword is actually pinned, so there's actually two dowel rods that start about up in here, and they go down to about down in here. So I didn't use the normal threaded rod technique that I like to use because there's not enough detail in this sword for me to hide a threaded rod. So I pinned it, and then again the dowel rod is actually recessed, so it's about right up to these rivet points here. So just drill your hole, drop it in, nice and sturdy, so it won't break on you when you're running around the conventions. The lines, I actually took a cutting wheel for a Dremel tool. Again, it's a quick dirty, and I just cut it out with a Dremel tool. Not the straightest lines, but again, a quick build. That's pretty much all there is to this sword. I mean, it's fairly basic and should go together pretty quick for you. If you got any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next build.